Hello, 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 everyone. I hope everyone is doing great. Happy Monday and happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. I'm living in the past. Happy Easter. I hope you all had a great Easter and you had a wonderful weekend. So today we have a lot of notes I have, so I will not take a lot of time. We'll start right away. When you hop on, tell me your name, introduce yourself so I can properly greet you. There are a lot of new people in the group. Welcome. Also, if you haven't signed up for the replays for this live stream for the 10 days breaking your invisibility with video, do so, because on Saturday I'm taking all the videos down and they'll be only available on a replay. So if you haven't signed up, the link is above. You can do that, luchiadragos.com/breaking-invisibility. So let's move on and let's start. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Luchia Dragos. I'm an award-winning producer, video editor, videographer, and host, and also video success strategist. And I help ambitious female entrepreneurs create videos that are client magnet and are laser focused without the necessary unnecessary complicated video setups and spending hours and hours setting their videos up and thousands of dollars on equipment so they can become visible, stand out, and convert followers to buyers. On day 5, we talked about how to craft an effective inner dialogue that pumps you up and puts you in a position of control and power, because sometimes we want the people around us to cheer us on and to be our cheerleaders and to pump us up and compliment us and all that. However, that puts tremendous pressure to the people around us, and also not always they can do that, so we get disappointed. And we are relying too much on external validation, and that is something that cannot be always available for us. So the best way to do is to craft an inner, to have a technique to craft an inner dialogue so you can be your own cheerleader, and in the times that you need to pump up yourself and boost your confidence. So we did that by first we talked about speaking to yourself as in second person instead of first person. We said it's more motivational, and the study shows that instead of I can do it, it's better to say you can do it. And they've done study between two groups of students. One performed better than the other. The ones that used the second person performed better than the other. If you haven't watched this video, that's the Friday's video. And the second thing was, now to all that you can add your name. So instead of again in second person, so Luchia, you can do it. That even it's a much better way of talking to yourself. And I would add details and evidence in the back, so you can do it because you've done it this many times. So add some details so you can believe it more, and it's more real. The third thing was to turn I can't to I don't. So I can't start making videos becomes I don't want to start making videos. So the minute you start saying I don't want to do something, that puts you in a different position, your mindset, because you start to think, oh, actually no, it's not that I don't want, I want. But then it's easier to find ways to do it, which brings to the next point. Instead of focusing on what you don't have and you don't want and you can't and so on, to focus on what you need to do. So instead of I don't have time to do a 10 days live workshop, becomes what can I clear from my schedule to make room for a 10 days event. So that puts you more in a position of control and not passively waiting for something else to happen, your circumstances to change, so you can move on to the next thing, which sometimes doesn't happen because life always happens. And the last thing was, instead of don't, turn it to a I want. So I don't want to make videos becomes or I don't want to make videos that look bad. That becomes I want to create videos that look professional. So you see, it changes to more the positive outcome, instead of I don't want to make videos that are bad, because it's more negative. And what we focus, we attract. So we're focusing in the first scenario to the negative. I don't want to create videos that are bad. And when we focus to the negative, we always attract that, because where energy goes, attention flows, something like that. No, where attention goes, energy flows. Hey Eve, thanks for being here. I think, yes, that was Tony Robbins who was saying that. So that is in a nutshell. That was day 5, which was Friday. If you haven't watched that video, go back and check it out. And there were a lot of other details that might help you to craft that inner dialogue, so you can pump yourself up and put yourself in a position of control and power. Today, day 6, one of my favorite topics. I always say that, but I think the 10 days are all my favorite topics. Day 6, the power of discipline. How not to wait to get ready and start creating consistently videos. So the power of discipline. If you are saying things like, I don't feel ready, I don't have the right to, well, I don't feel ready, and that can be, external and internal. I don't feel ready to start now. My room, it's not ready. I don't have the studio and things like that. Those are external. It can be I don't feel ready inside, emotionally, mentally. I need to prep myself to be ready and not scared. I don't feel like shooting today. I'm not inspired. What's the point of only doing few videos, and then when motivation runs, I'll not do it anymore. So what's the point of even starting? I don't know how to make myself show up consistently on video. And if all those things are going through your mind, that is absolutely normal. However, you are waiting to feel ready. Again, you're in a position of waiting and not taking control. And there are a few things that we can do to put us in a position of control, and I'll share it with you. So, waiting for perfect timing. I'll just say it from now, there's no perfect timing. There's no such a thing. Like today, I had to do the live. Everything that was possible to go wrong went wrong. So even my notes are all over, but I'm prepared. However, wherever I was supposed to shoot, it didn't happen. So anyways, everything went wrong. But since it's on my calendar, I do not skip things unless there's emergency. So I'll show you how I do it, and that might really help you. So the few mistakes, well, actually top 2 mistakes that entrepreneurs make. And number 1 is waiting for divine inspiration. I actually created a post on that, but this is one of my favorite topics, because for some things I wait divine inspiration too. I have a client, she posted a video that was incredible. She had this energy, and it just was great. The background wasn't perfect, it was just improvised, but it looked, she was amazing, the energy and all that. So she mentioned to me, I did this video and it's amazing, and I felt great, and I felt my energy was the perfect level, and I was so on point, no rambling, no, I said whatever I wanted to say, and I felt so confident. And when I sit down to do videos, it never happens like that. So she asked me, how can I recreate all that again? Now the problem with waiting to do that is, first of all, you're gonna just do it whenever, because inspiration and motivation cannot come at the same time every week. You might not, even if it comes once in 2 months, let's say, you might not be in the perfect settings like she wasn't to create 5 or 6 videos, so you can batch create for afterwards for next week's. You might not be physically ready or have the right equipment right there in the moment like she wasn't. So what does it you have the good energy, you feel great about it, but then everything else it's wrong. So that video, first of all, it's not strategic. You don't have even the right call to action. The content is not strategic because it's an inspiration. So this cannot happen in exact times that we want it. This is not a schedule, and just waiting for this inspiration, it's not going to get you anywhere. We'll go over techniques, how to bring those emotions and feel pumped up and inspired to do it again and again whenever we want it. But waiting just for divine inspiration, it's not, you are not going to be able to create consistent content, like I said, because you're not going to be, your equipment, your time might not be available for creating a bunch of videos whenever you're inspired. So the second biggest mistake is to feel ready. So feeling ready externally, internally, all that, it's not going to happen. You'll never feel ready unless you start doing it past the stage of uncomfortability and then get comfortable with it, and then you will feel ready. I mean, if I was waiting to feel ready today, I'm absolutely not ready, not content-wise, because I done my research, I worked through the content, last month, but it just me, it was running around, and it was just a crazy day, and I just set up everything, and I started talking. My notes even are glued to a light. They're not, I don't even have my music stand for my notes, but so I don't feel ready to shoot today. If I have a choice, probably I'll say, you know what, let's just skip it. So I can't wait to be ready, because when you're doing video, especially for the people who haven't done it, it's something very uncomfortable. It's a new experience, and we talked about this before. So why would you be ready next week? It will be still something new for you to learn. It will still be uncomfortable. It will still be out of your comfort zone. So what will be different next week? If you're not doing anything to get you ready, which is only action, actually, and doing the thing that scares you and that is uncomfortable. So next week, nothing will be changed. Next week, you just say, I don't feel ready. Let me wait for a few more weeks, one more month, and then time goes by, and then a few months down the road, and you haven't created any videos. You're still in the comfort zone, and so waiting is not going to get you anywhere. So that's why waiting to feel ready, it just doesn't work unless you start doing it. So the other thing I want to mention is that why, I just want to glance at my notes, emotionally, waiting to feel ready, it's relying on your emotions and your feelings. And we'll talk about after that why. Let me know if something with this resonates with you, and if you felt, waiting for an inspiration, even on a replay. Let me know if you waited on an inspiration, or if you wait to feel ready. Let me know. So why waiting on, relying on feelings and emotions doesn't work? Because we are making emotional decisions. And then we try to justify them with logic. So you're probably, since it's an uncomfortable experience, you're probably not going to feel like, and you're not going to have the right emotions to make that decision. So that's why it's not going to work. So now, and the study shows that we tend to do the things that are easy and they feel good, but they're not always right for us, and they're not the things that will grow us, that will stretch us out of our comfort zone. So if we tend to do those things, that means waiting to feel ready, it's never going to happen, because our brain will be deciding that this is more comfortable to be where we are, and then we're not going to move on past our comfort zone. So feelings cannot be our motivator. So when we stop stop using, and then click go live. Exactly. That's what I did today. I needed this huge deep breath. Yes, Eve. So I just take deep breath and then click go live. You know, you just have to jump and then figure it out as you go, you know. But yes, absolutely. Thanks for sharing. You can't, if you are waiting for your feelings to be your motivator and driving force, it's not going to happen. Because we tend to, like we talked in the other days, we tend to avoid things that are painful. And the minute we want something that it's right for us, we have few seconds that our feelings start to kick in and our self-doubt voice start giving us reasons why we can't. And then we make the decision based on those feelings, and that is proven that we make decisions based on feelings. Just like buying, right? Emotional process. It gets later when it's in my own replay. Yeah. I remember those times when I just couldn't watch my videos. You know, I didn't like anything about it. Now I'm, you know, I gotta watch it. I have this selective hearing and seeing now. So I'm only looking for the things that I need in the moment. But yeah, it is scary. And it's very uncomfortable, and it gets better and better. You just get used to with being uncomfortable. You know, I think it's, and many actors and stars, they don't even watch their movies. I mean, it's a scary experience. So just like buying is an emotional process, right? Based on feelings, and then later on we justify logically. So it is proven, according to a neuroscientist, Antonio Damasio, 95% of the time we make decisions based on our feelings, and that is scary. No logic, feelings. He did a study with people that had brain damage, and exactly that part of their brain, yeah, I skip it to to where exactly I need to be. So he has done study with people that had brain damage, and specifically damage of that part of the brain where they had their feelings. I don't know what that part of the brain is called, but where their feelings are, where our feelings come from. So I'm not sure if it's the amygdala. So what he found was astonishing, that they could weigh the pros and cons of the choices that they need to make, but they could not decide. Even simple things such as what food to have, what to eat. So the right question to ask is not what should I eat, but it's what I feel like eating. And for video, it's should I start making videos as opposed to do I feel like starting to make videos, and probably is the second. So if we're making 95% of the time decisions based on feelings, that is scary. And the first impulse, it's always the right one. We know, well, I guess it's not the impulse, but the thing that we know we should do. And then he says that we have nanoseconds, part of a second that the feelings start kicking in. So our brain tries to protect us from the things that will be painful, and that means, you know, doing the right thing most of the times, going out of our comfort zone. So our feelings will kick in, and then the self-doubt thoughts will start, and we'll probably justify it why we make logically why we did that decision, why we didn't do the video. So for me today, probably, you know, I'll say, you know, I want to do the video, but then if I let my feelings, I'll start, oh, you know, I don't have today the right equipment, and my son is home, and I was supposed to shoot in my mom's place, but didn't happen. So I'm back and forth, and last minute, so I can justify and say, you know, if I'm more prepared, I can give better value. Instead of now, I just say, you know, I'm prepared enough. I've done this content. I worked on it last month, and you know, for a lot of hours. So I know, and I have my notes. So I can. But you see, if I want to justify it not doing, I can do that. And that is the feelings that come in. So relying on those feelings, it's it cannot be our motivator, because it is the wrong choice for us if we want to grow as entrepreneurs and do the things that are good for us, that are right for us. So bottom line, if we're waiting to achieve a goal until we're ready, we'll never achieve our dreams. And it will be just wishful thinking. I make better videos when I'm in a good vibe and when I'm well prepared. Absolutely, and that is with all of us. So I'll show you a few things, how I get prepared in that state of mind. And yeah, you do need a few minutes before that. And today, I didn't have that extra time to really get ready. So when I don't have that extra time to prepare, sometimes I feel self-conscious. And my thought that just doesn't flow. So I mean, I think that's with everyone. So I'll share the techniques that I know and that I use, and I hope that will help. So but the bottom line is, we need to separate our feelings from the decisions that we want to make, and basically ignore our feelings. So there are 5 techniques that I use in different times, not always at the same time. I'll show you one of my favorite. Some you have to use together. So for example, number 1 is plan. So you need to plan it. Those are more strategic. So you need to plan it. If it's not on your calendar, it's just not going to happen. That is why I book Saturday every 4 months, and I shoot 10 videos for YouTube. I book every Thursday for my Thursday masterclass. I'm very consistent with the schedule. I know myself, if I have to improvise, or not improvise, but yeah, if I this week say, you know what, I'll just hop on live right now. So for me, okay, I'll hop on live right now, but then probably people will not know, and it will be, you know, improvised content. Might be great, right? Next week, I don't know if the whole week I'll feel like doing live, because I'll be busy with other things, and then I'll put it off. So for me, it works when I put it on a schedule, and when I know it's every Thursday and I announce it. I create an event and I announce it. On my YouTube channel, I have every Tuesday new video, because I want people to know. So that holds me accountable, and it's on my calendar. So I book it for the 10 days. I book 12:30 to 2:30, because I need the time before, and I don't want to rush with the content. So that's in my calendar. That especially for batch creating videos, that is an absolute must. If you can create 10 videos at the same time, great, do it every 4 months. If you can create 5 to 6 videos, do every 2 months. I do it always on Saturday. Number 2, it's a strategy. So if you don't have a strategy, probably you're just shooting content all over, and also your content is not strategically created. So many entrepreneurs do not shoot videos because they have no idea, especially what to say. So I hear a lot of time, you know, I really want to do videos, but I'm not sure what to say. I'm not sure what to talk about, and how to structure it, and how not to ramble, and so on. So it's not about planning a schedule, but it's more strategic, the content. And you need to be absolutely strategic with your content, because you want to have an intention with the content. And I'll share how I created this life, and mostly my challenges and all that. But it's always intention behind what you want. So for me, I reverse engineer. So I say, okay, what is it that I want? So I set the goal as an intention. So for me, this life was to transform people's beliefs about video. That is why it's circled around mindset, because this is one module from what I teach in my one-on-one program. This is just one small piece of it. However, I see a lot of people struggling with it, and that is the first step preventing them to move on to the next thing. So that is why I decided to create this. My intention was to inspire other people to take action, but also to educate them and to transform the way they think about video, their beliefs. So your intention can be, to connect, to grow your list, to get visible on a page, to break one other layer of your invisibility or your fears. So it is an intention. What is it that you want to achieve? And it's good to be like a goal, but also something that you want to convey, like an emotion. So inspire, empower, and so on, right? So that will add to your, when we talk later, to what emotions you want to convey. Now, the next thing is, for me, I started thinking, okay, how am I going to do that? I can do 3 days video, 3-part video series. I can do 5-day challenge. I can do 10 days, which I really wanted to do for some times, 10 days. And I didn't really want to do a challenge with the prizes and all that, and because I didn't want to upsell to any group program or anything. So for me, I said, and I know there are a lot of different things that we can cover. So I did a survey and I asked in the group, what is it that you want me to cover if I do that? And from the topics that I saw, I realized, okay, there are a lot of topics. So 10 days probably would be ideal. Then I went back, right, coming down now. So now I start writing the idea. So I took a lot from the survey. I have a copy bank where for each comment or things I see, I copy and paste to this Excel spreadsheet, the emotions, the fears, and all that. So I went there and saw which is matching, which is the majority, which is not. Then email to people. You can use SurveyMonkey and all that. For market research that you've done, and based on your practice as well. So that's how I created the content. There were a lot of things. So then I said, okay, which one I can combine, which one I can take it out, and so on. Then which one should be first, and so on. And then the other thing that I did is, okay, what am I going to do with this content? Is it going to be only for 10 days live? How am I going to use it? So I wanted to repurpose it, put it as a package, and it's going to be probably a self-study mini course. And from the notes, probably I'll create a ebook. So I'm repurposing the content, but that is all intentional. Way before I even started to create any graphics or anything. All the graphics that I created for Facebook, they become thumbnails for YouTube, and so on. So everything's strategic. But I create that backwards, first starting with the intention. So let me know if that is something new for you, if you think that might work for you, and if you're creating something similar like that now, even on a replay, I'd love to know your thoughts. So number 3, it's bring the emotions to life. So this is a major thing for me, and I used it before each live stream. So when I was in acting school, we had a teacher who was telling us to, we were doing a lot of this exercise. So for every situation that you might think of while, when you're in an acting school, we were supposed to go back and find an event that brought those emotions. But let me do that in steps so you know how I do it. So step 1 first is to determine the emotion. So what emotion, like we said, right? You determine that first, what emotion you want to convey. What is your intention? Let's say for this live, inspire to take action, right? So what is the emotion that I want to feel right before I hop on the live, and after that as well, throughout the live. So if it's, if you want to make people to take action, then, well, first, so if I'm interviewing, let's say, political leader, then I want to feel equal, empowered, admired, smart, strong, bold, all these emotions. If I'm doing a video and my intention is to make people take an action, depending on the audience, right? You might add a little, vulnerability, flirtiness. For the 10 days, I wanted to feel unstoppable, inspirational, force of nature, vulnerable, and admired. So all these emotions. So how am I going to bring those emotions if I'm not motivated at this time, right? I can't be every day motivated and feel this way so I can do the live. So now that comes step 2. I go back in my past and I find the moment that I felt and I experienced all these emotions. And for me, it was when I was in a human trafficking conference, these emotions are key to create connection. Yes, like Maya Angelou said, people won't remember what you said or did, but they will remember how you make them feel. So emotions are very important. So for me, it was when I gave a speech in the human trafficking conference in Texas, and my movie was screening. So my movie was on human trafficking. So that feeling, meeting all these people and knowing that I'm making a difference in the world, that my work that started from one small article in the New York subway and then, became such a big thing and inspired so many, and I met so many incredible people. But the feeling that I got there, that is what every time I try to recreate when I want to do, well, for this 10 days, when I want to do, force of nature, vulnerable at the same time, admired, unstoppable, inspirational, and so on. So I close my eyes, and you can do it even now, after you identify what intentions you want, what you want people to feel, and how what emotions you want to bring in yourself to make them feel like that. And usually it's a mirror. If you want to inspire them, you want to be bold and inspirational and empowering and so on. Usually it's a mirror. They mirror the emotion. So you close your eyes and you think back for that event, and you think about everything: the smell, the clothes, the smell, the clothes, temperature, the people around you, everything. And you start feeling how you felt at that time. So now you can add one more thing. I think this is NLP. When you start experiencing those emotions again, you can create an anchor point, which is you can brush one finger with the other, or you can do something like that, or any movement little. You create an anchor, so something to connect you with that emotion. So next time when you want to feel that emotion, when you touch your finger in the same way, you are going to recreate that. However, that comes with practice. So I remember in the acting school, we would do that exercise day after day after day, and every time you go before on stage. But after a while, it became such a habit. You just bring those emotions to life while you're on the stage. So for me now, even today, I didn't have time to do my exercise, before my mindset work before a live. However, the minute I go live, I know how to recreate this because I've done it so many times. So it's just a practice, and be patient with yourself. But it's a really, really effective technique, and actors use it a lot. So let me know if that is something that you've heard, or something that you want, you probably want to, if it makes sense for you. So now going back to the techniques, the technique number 4 is something that we talked about before, and is giving different meanings to the action of getting on camera and making videos. So that way you're associating pleasure with doing video and pain with where you are right now. So thinking, what is the pleasure of being on camera? you know, the visibility, standing out, connecting with people, and so on. And the pain of you still being where you are and not making any changes. So that is the other thing that we talked about. You can also do that. You can do them even together. And the fifth thing is something that I read Mel Robbins. Actually, Lori shared a video of Mel Robbins, and then I went to read about her. She has the 5-second rule. So she believes, like that doctor as well, that we make decisions based on feelings. So when we decide we want to do something and then the feelings kick in, feelings that we don't want to do it, of self-sabotage and all that. So you have 5 seconds until you already decided, okay, I'm not going to do it. So she says, and that's why people snooze the button. That's why I don't go to the gym. She says that if you, the minute you get, you want to do something, and then those feelings start kicking. Right before that, oh, I love a great if. Yeah, you start counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you count backwards, and then you act. So she's saying that counting backwards will interrupt the pattern of our feelings, and then we can accomplish. I haven't tried it. I actually did only one time, because usually I get up, I don't hit the snooze button, but one time I know that I had more time to sleep, but I said, but I wanted to get up, so I did try. It did work for me, and I'm sure it works. I mean, she said that it just changed her life. She, you know, now she doesn't wait for motivation. She just does the things that she wants to do. So those are the 5 things, and try them and let me know which one would work for you. Again, be patient with yourself, because this is not something that happens overnight. It's just a habit like any other habit. And there's so many techniques. That's why I sign up for the replay, so you can have an access, and you can always PM me. So remember one thing, that going through that push, you know, where your values and goals meet, at that moment, it's when the fear and self-doubt, everything will start kicking in at the same time. And that is the time when you need to push. You need to push. It's going to be hard, but once you're on the other side, you'll feel that up leveling, and you are going to feel that you know how to do video, you know how to work with your emotions, you know how to work with your feelings, and they're not controlling you, but you are in control of your decisions, because now you're not making decisions based on feelings and emotions, but you're making decisions because you know you have to do this. So that is a discipline. And I come from a communist background, communist country. I studied ballet, you know, a lot of sports. That's why they help a lot. And I have impeccable discipline. I know that even if I don't feel like doing something, I would do it. And I remember when I studied ballet, I mean, winter time in the cold rehearsal room, and you're not, you know, you didn't sleep well, or you had to study later. So not a comfortable experience, not something that you would choose to do, but you had to be there glued to that bar and do the exercises. So that is the power of discipline, because we are taking control. And why do we want to do that? Because every little thing that we do towards our goals, every little thing that we do to step out of our comfort zone, it changes the perception, how we see ourselves. So it changes the perception of ourselves, and that builds our confidence, because the way we see ourselves probably is something that will empower us to grow to the woman that we want to be, or it's something that will stop us. So it's good to know where you want to be, who you want to become, who is the woman that you want to become, and then ask yourself, what do I think of myself right now? So the more you procrastinate and you don't do the things that you know you have to do, the more your self-confidence probably will go down, and you're going to think, you know, I want to be that woman, but I don't know if I can be, because if I'm not even doing this little thing, doing a video or this other thing. So everything that we do, every little thing adds to our perception of ourselves, how we see ourselves, and that adds to our self-confidence. And it's like a snowball effect. The more you feel self-confident, the more you do the things, and because you like the feeling, and it will be a snowball effect. However, the other way around is true too. So if you are used to procrastinating and then you don't feel confident because you're doing that, then you will do it again and again, and it's just like a vicious cycle. So from now, start doing those little things. Ask yourself, do you even have goals? Do you have a long-term goals? Do you have short-term goals? Do you know where you want to be? Do you know who you want to be? What exactly is that you want? So you can become that person, because it's possible, but only with work, and with, I would say, hard work in a sense, not 24/7, but hard work meaning stepping out of your comfort zone, because that is something hard and uncomfortable. So start small steps, because every little step counts. And on Friday, I shared that I had 2 spots for the free video tech makeover. They were gone. And I had 2 more spots for the personal strategy session. Those are gone, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, but unfortunately for some of you who wanted. So now, just because I have 5 more days left, I'm opening 2 more spots, and those are the last spots I'm opening as a free personal strategy session. So if you haven't taken advantage, do that, because the last ones, they went pretty fast. I mean, the last 2, they were in 1 day, the last live stream. So I'm opening only 2, because I'm pretty booked next week. So this week and next week you have 2 spots. However, don't wait, because they'll be gone as well. If you really want a strategic approach, you know where to start, with what to start, what is the most important thing to start, so you don't waste your time. And not only that, but so it's something that will not overwhelm you and make you give up, because that's usually what happens when you don't know where to start. You start with everything, and you want the best videos, and you have this equipment and setup, and then you just can't follow up, and you become overwhelmed and you give up. So that is why it's very important to start strategically, and I can help you do that, absolutely. Just like with my clients before, just like with people we had personal strategy sessions. It's absolutely free. The link is above. It's bit.ly/personal strategy session. To recap today, while I recap, if you have questions, let me know. We covered the 5 techniques. One is planning your content, planning in the calendar, put it in the schedule. If it's not in your schedule, it's not going to happen. Number 2 is strategy. So think strategically. Determine, how you want to feel, how you want, the 3 steps, how you want people to feel, how you want to make them feel, so also how you want to feel at the moment, during the live, during the video, and so on, what emotions you want to convey. Close your eyes, go back, find an event, something that happened in your life before, that you experienced those emotions, and then the optional is to touch your finger or do something touch somewhere in your body, so you can create an anchor which will help you to bring those emotions every single time, and that comes with practice. The 4th technique was to associate a goal with a pleasure, and where you are right now, if you don't do the goal, with pain. And the 5th thing was Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. So the minute you feel the emotions coming, arising, the feelings of self-doubt and so on, count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that will dissociate yourself with those emotions. So tomorrow is day 7, which is not getting results. Now what. So we will talk about what happens when you don't get results, when you know, not consistent, self-sabotage, discouraged, giving up too early, and all that good stuff. So it can help you to push through the times when you don't see results. And I will help you do that. Well, help you to see what will work for you. So if there are no questions, even on a replay, you know, post your questions or anything that you want to share. I would love to hear. Eve, thanks for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day wherever you are. Bye.